Comrades and friends, Global Weekly News, serial number 7. Comrades and friends, every week Friday in People's Dispatch, the international media, Comrades Vijay Prasad, Joey Alexandra and Prasad, the international renowned journalists, are giving 1 week important news around the globe. I am just giving a summary of that in simple English. Please tell your friends to see this serial continuously. This serial contains a lot of very important informations about the misdeeds of US imperialism and the struggles of the toiling people around the globe. So I once again welcome all the friends and comrades to the weekly program Global Weekly News. Comrades and friends, 5th August, Friedrich Engels Memorial Day. Friedrich Engels was comrade in arms of Karl Marx, the best friendship so far in the world. Along with Marx, Engels exposed the horrors or disasters caused by capitalism. Engels' body was cremated as per his wish, and ashes were dissolved in the English Channel. Israel has again bombed Gaza of Palestine. We will be seeing more of that in the coming weeks. The first item today is Nancy Pelosi's China visit. People's Republic of China, the Socialist China, before 1949 was a colony of the imperialists. After the Socialist Revolution in China, Macau and Hong Kong were reunited with the People's Republic of China in a peaceful manner. Chiang Kai-shek, in 1849, he fled from the mainland to the island Taiwan, and there he founded the Republic of China. As per the Constitution of the People's Republic of China, Taiwan is an integral part of China. United Nations recognized People's Republic of China as the only China, and People's Republic of China, shortly PRC, was made a Security Council member of the United Nations with even veto powers. On 15th December 1978, United States cut off its relations with Taiwan and formally recognized People's Republic of China as the only China. PRC does not want a divided nation as it was before 1949. US is having a kind of diplomatic relations with Taiwan. Officially, US treats People's Republic of China as the only China. But Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, recently visited the Asia Pacific region. She went to South Korea, Japan, etc. But in spite of the warnings by US President Joe Biden and the military headquarters Pentagon, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House of Representatives of the United States, visited Taiwan on 2nd August and left on 3rd August. She traveled in a US military flight. Nancy Pelosi is the third most influential politician of USA. US naval ships were around Taiwan, giving security to Nancy. We can't believe that she visited Taiwan without the consent of Joe Biden. 25 years before, the then Speaker of the United States visited Taiwan. As a sovereign country, People's Republic of China is totally against the visit of any foreign dignitary to Taiwan. US-China relations have already strained due to the ongoing Ukraine war, trade war, etc. US is following a policy of containment of People's Republic of China. Recently, United States has formed the Quadrilateral Alliance and AUKUS, etc., the new military cooperation to isolate China. United States is regularly abusing that there is no democracy in China and Muslim minorities are ill-treated in the mainland. Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan is indirectly inviting China for war. She visited Taiwan to render United States support to Taiwan. The spokesman of PRC's external ministry warned of dire consequences. Demonstrations took place around the world against Nancy's visit. There were demonstrations in Taipei, the capital of Taiwan, as well as Nancy Pelosi's own district in the United States. There were demonstrations against Nancy's visit to Taiwan. People's Republic of China has declared to stop energy supplies to Taiwan. Taiwan exports 50% of world's semiconductors. If US-China war breaks out, world economy will be jeopardized, very much affected. People's Republic of China has cut off commander-level talks with the United States of America. PRC has also stopped negotiations with the United States on the rehabilitation of migrants, battle against drug trafficking, climate change, etc. Let us go to the second country, Yemen. Yemen is situated in the southern end of Arabian Peninsula. North of Yemen is Saudi Arabia. Houthi communities in Yemen captured Sana'a, capital of Yemen. Saudi Arabia interfered in such internal affairs of Yemen. Due to Saudi's attacks, 400,000 people or 4 lakh people were killed. Worst disaster of the century. Saudi Arabia started bombing Yemen from 2015. Last year, Houthis attacked Saudi's parts through drones. Due to this, clashes broke out between Yemen and Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Due to the intervention of United Nations, a peace accord was reached in April. Now the good news is that this accord will be extended for another 2 more months. When peace was restored, 8,000 Yemenians are able to access health facilities, education and trade opportunities and meeting with the families, etc. Will this peace continue? That is the question. The military aid and weapons supplies by United States to Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates is spoiling the peace in Yemen. US has supplied huge weapons to Saudi Arabia from 2017 to 2021. Even when the peace accord was reached, US announced $5 billion or $500 crore worth weapons to Saudi Arabia and United Arab Emirates. Before getting elected as the president, Joe Biden promised that weapon supplies to Saudi Arabia will be stopped. But the same Joe Biden is saying now that US is supplying only defensive weapons. Actually, offensive weapons are supplied. Even when the peace accord is in force, on 10th July, 17 people were killed by Saudi Arabia's border guards in the territory of Yemen. The third country, friends and comrades, we go to Colombia with a festive mood. South American country. On 7th August, Gustavo Petro and Francia Marquez were sworn in as president and vice president respectively in Colombia, a Latin American country. Spain King Felix VI, presidents of 9 Latin American countries attended the swearing-in ceremony. 100,000 people were there in the function. 1 lakh. Gustavo has appealed to rebel armed groups to surrender their arms and return to normal path. About half of the population of Colombia is in poverty. Therefore, eradication of the poverty is the first declared objective of the government. The new finance minister has announced tax reforms. The rich people will be taxed to the extent of $5.6 billion, that is $560 crore. Rural investments will be enhanced. Gustavo appealed to the peasants to stop cultivating cocoa leaves. Cocoa leaves help the drug trade. In the cabinet, both the leftists and the centrists are there. It's a coalition cabinet. Free university education, health facilities and pension reforms will be there. The 2016 peace agreement with the National Liberation Army rebels will be renewed. The labor minister belongs to the Communist Party of Colombia. Historic pact. The alliance of Gustavo Petro has really made history by replacing 60 years of reactionary regressive rule with a left centrist coalition. The basic necessity of the people were ignored in these 60 years. Gustavo has not said that the capitalism will be replaced by another alternative system, but the government will be pro-tiling masses of the country. Human rights will be protected. Regional agreement on access to information, public participation and justice in environmental matters in Latin America and the Caribbean. Escazú agreement was signed on 4th March 2018. Gustavo government has ratified this environmental agreement. Ex-army officers are being convicted for their crimes they committed in the past. Gustavo met indigenous communities also. African Colombian communities and other marginalized people will be protected by the government. Pedro Castillo, president of Peru, wanted to attend the swearing-in ceremony, but Peru's parliament stopped him, did not allow him. Therefore, in his place, Vice President of Peru attended the swearing-in ceremony. In the coming presidential elections in Brazil on 2nd October, in all probabilities, Comrade Lula da Silva, the left leader of the Workers' Party, is most likely to be elected. We hope that a new Latin America is born, leading to the progress of people in the region. Even when there is a change of government in Colombia, the reactionary forces got involved in violent activities. Colombian government will take strong steps to abolish drug trafficking, which the United States failed to do. Comrades and friends, let us go to Africa. The Western Sahara, the colony country. The collective of Sahrawi human rights defenders in Western Sahara, Odisha, has come out with its first report on 28th July. The title is When Western Sahara Will Be Decolonized. It is presently under the occupation of Morocco, another African country, nearby African country. Morocco claimed sovereignty over Western Sahara after Spain withdrew its colonial control from the territory in 1975. The UN mission for the organization of the referendum in Western Sahara was constituted after United Nations mediated a ceasefire between the Polisario Front, which is fighting for the Western Sahara's liberation, and the Moroccan forces in September 1991. The Codisa report claims that since Morocco violated the ceasefire agreement in November 2020, the oppression inside Western Sahara has increased. The international community and the United Nations have failed to complete the decolonization process promised since 1991. Comrades and friends, according to the report, the Codisa report, the Moroccan occupation carried out at least 20 extrajudicial executions and illegally arrested at least 121 Sahrawi citizens in the period between September 2020 and December 2021. 264 people got some severe injuries. There were at least 139 home seizures. The report claims that Sahrawi prisoners inside Moroccan jails are subjected to consistent denial of their basic rights under international law. They have been forced into solitary confinement, food deprivation, medical negligence, and unhygienic conditions. At least 59 prisoners had to resort to hunger strike for prolonged periods to oppose their ill treatment. Close to 80% of all Singaravelu prisoners in Moroccan jails, they are kept in jails which are at least 320 kilometers or more away from their homes. The report alleges that Moroccan authorities used the health emergency declared during COVID-19 pandemic as a means to increase their oppression of the Sahrawi people, both inside and outside the prisons. Foreign observers were prevented from visiting occupied Western Sahara to hide its crimes. Sahrawi self-determination movement was denied the necessary resource of global contact. Western Sahara's resources are looted by Morocco. Morocco has joined the Abraham Accords initiated by USA in West Asia. Backed by United States support, Morocco is indulging in atrocities against the people of Western Sahara. The fifth item today, human rights in United States of America. Last year, 1,067 people were killed by police shootings in USA. That means 3 people per day were shot at. This news in Washington Post, quite terrifying news. Albert Woodfox, a black man, was arrested for a petty crime and put in jail when he was a young boy. Though through legal means he got a release order many times, he was not released. There was a revolt in the jail. Albert, along with 2 others, are alleged to have killed another white prison guard. The court released him in 2016, declaring Albert as innocent. So an innocent citizen of America, innocent black citizen of America, has been kept in American jails for 44 years at a stretch. Albert has undergone 44 years imprisonment, one of the long-term prisoners of the world. The 75 years old Albert died due to COVID-19 complications. Many black plantation laborers, including Albert, were brought to USA from African country Angola. The Louisiana jail where Albert was kept, that jail is called the Angola jail. Albert was put in a very small cell. He could see the sunlight only for a few hours. Amnesty International and other human rights groups have condemned such a ill treatment. Herman Wallace, another prisoner due to cancer, was released. However, he died. A few hours before his death, arrest warrant was again issued. US sheds crocodile tears over human rights in other countries. US sheds crocodile tears over human rights in other countries. But in USA itself is not looking at mirror. USA itself is having the worst human rights record, as can be seen in the long-term detention of an innocent black man, Albert Woodfox. Comrades and friends, let us go to the last item today. World hunger. There is a report from Germany. As per the report, 20% of African people are suffering due to hunger. As per United Nations records, global food grain prices are on the decline. Very good news. Wheat exports from Ukraine, Russia have increased. But there are bad news also. Fertilizer prices are increasing as per this UN record. If the fertilizer prices start increasing, the small farmers are not able to make their lands fertile due to the rise in prices of fertilizer. So there will be drops in food grain production. Food grain production will decline, and hence again prices of food items will rise. So this is the danger the world is facing today. Comrades and friends, once again, I remind that you request all your friends to go through Global Weekly News serials. Thank you, comrades. Lal Salam.